That would have been 1999, would be the underground trucks, which were known as LHDs, load haul dump trucks. And these trucks are trucks that drive in mine tunnels with not much clearance on either side, maybe a metre, half a metre either side. Big-ish machines, maybe 30 tonnes. And up until that point, they were driven by someone in a cab. And they would go into different areas of the mine where maybe you could get uncontrolled ceiling collapses in the mine. So the mining industry, of course, has always been focused on safety. And there was a desire to remove the operators from potential harm's way. And up until that point, that had been done by radio control. So some people had experimented with taking the operators off the trucks and putting them in a sort of a cabin, still underground, and radio controlling the trucks. And that had been demonstrated quite well. But the problem with that was apparently they lost productivity. Because if you are radio controlling something, you kind of lose all that seat of the pants feel. So it turned out that they went a bit slower than you would if you were actually in the seat. So the natural next step was, can you kind of semi-automate this and turn them into driverless trucks? Where when they're going down the tunnels, there's lasers and the control system actually doing the steering. And then when it gets to the hard bit, which is digging out the dirt, then the operator comes back and takes over with the remote control and kind of does the digging, then presses a button, and then the truck automatically zooms off as fast as it can. And that's what the project was all about.
Outcome again?
So that was a kind of an incredible project, and in fact that was a year where Peter Cork was overseas. So he was in the US on a 6-month sabbatical when we started that project. So Peter was a key part of the team, but working remotely in a different time zone. So thank goodness for the internet. So so we were doing a lot of the development at the CSIRO site. This was a CSIRO project. We had to build a fake mine tunnel. So we built 300 to 400 meters of fake mine tunnel above ground with shade cloth, steel kind of structure and shade cloth. And then we ran the real truck around that. And then we would upload data and talk to Peter overnight via email, and he'd kind of contribute his stuff back, and we kind of got the whole thing working that way. The outcome of that was we patented the navigation system, which is the bit of code that actually drives the truck along the ground, and that was partly sponsored, that project, by the company Caterpillar, who are this big equipment manufacturer of mining trucks and those sorts of machines. And the outcome is they commercialised that product, and it went into their autonomous underground truck system. And as far as I know, that code that we developed is still used, right? So 20 years later, that is still the piece of code that actually steers and navigates these trucks.